Hello everyone, Phil here. This project is not a woodworking project. We're going to be using aluminium. This is two pieces of box section. This is 38mm square and this is 30mm square. These are scrap bits because I'm only just testing for a project that I'm working with someone else. What I'm trying to do is to see if this carbide router cutter or if this burr, I think it's a burr, which one is the best one to cut the aluminium. Because I only mainly work in wood, I'm going to be using a router to cut it with. And I hope there's not going to be anyone out there going, no, don't do it. And I'm sure there may be. In my experience and watching a few videos, I think at least one of these will cut the slot that we would like in this tubing. Okay, the reason we're putting a slot in this tubing is because it's for a special ladder. Now this ladder is for a work colleague of mine who is part owner of an aeroplane. Now when you see this aeroplane, and I might be able to put up some pictures of this aeroplane, the first thing you think is that's not a real aeroplane, that's a model, because it's so small. When I first saw it, exactly my first thoughts was, how do you fit inside it and how does it take off with you inside it, because it's so small. But I have been rest assured that that plane flies really well, and he's it's pretty cold in here, and he's pretty quick as well. Now then, so the only problem is he hasn't got a ladder to actually get into the cockpit. Basically, I think they have to stack up a couple of boxes for him to step into. I'm not 100% sure how he gets into it, but that's how they do it. So that he has asked another colleague of mine who is a knife maker, to be quite honest. He has got a YouTube channel. I will stick the link to his YouTube channel, but he doesn't post very often, and that's Ian from Essex Mirage Knives. He's asked Ian to make this ladder. They've come up with a few different designs and they've got to their final design, but they found it was too heavy. So this is slots in here to make the ladder a lot lighter, is basically simply what we're trying to do. So Ian came to me because he didn't really know the best way to do it, because he hadn't got the machinery, i.e. a mill or something like that, and you could have done it roughly with a jigsaw, but we want to try and do it really nicely, and I came up with using the router. So this is a test part for cutting a router, or cutting aluminium with a router bit or a burr. So stay with us and you'll be seeing what I'm seeing, because this is going to be the first time I've done it. See you in a little while. So now, as you can see on there, it says the slot to be 230mm long, and it needs to be quite reasonably wide. But just to test this out, all I'm going to do is just put basically a 1/2 inch slot up the middle there, and that's 200. I'm not getting this very well. 230 from this black line here to this furthest black line here. This one and this one are my centres to drill a hole big enough for getting the router cutter in. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm not going to show it, but I'm just going to quickly drill a hole and then bring it back to you to show you what it is. So guys, so we've got the 2 holes drilled in either end. So now I'm going to set this up on the table below and hopefully route out a nice slot. So as you can see, I've placed this piece of wood through the inside of the tube. And then what I'm going to do is put one clamp here, one clamp here, clamp it to my desk, which is going to hold this rock solid. There you go. That's pretty solid on there. Good enough for what we need. The reason I've got the parchment paper or the grease-proof paper down here is because I'm going to be using some oil on this, and I don't really want it oil getting all on my desk. Bench, not desk, bench. Right. Okay, so to get a nice straight parallel groove, I've adapted my router base and I have super glued this little piece of beech on here to give me a fence. I'm not too sure if it's going to fall off. I hope it doesn't. It's measured 19mm from this edge to the centre of the router bit. I've also had to put 2 blocks on the end here to help keep the router base up straight, or else it was going to be falling off and being unsteady. And the same in that way. I have to lift it up a little bit because it's not quite flat. I could make it flat, but for this purpose and for a quick cutting bit, I've decided not to at the moment. If it gets to a bit of a problem, then I will do. So that's it. So I'm sort of ready to actually start cutting this now. I've just got to make the plunge, pardon the pun, on a router, plunge router. Okay. The wall thickness of this piece of square tube is 3mm, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. Always wear your safety glasses, especially with metal, even more so with metal. So I'm just going to spray this with a piece of GT85 just to give it a bit of lubrication and cut in oil. And let's see how we go. This is quite nerve-wracking, to be quite honest. Right, well, the cutter's in. Thankfully I have a variable speed router, so I've put it onto the slowest speed. I suppose really I shouldn't start it up inside. Okay. Perhaps I'm going the wrong way and it should go the other way. I might just have to take, I'm trying to take the whole lot at this stage and seeing what's happening. So let's try from the other side. See if that makes it a bit better. cutting. No, I've not gone deep. I'm actually going to just try and take small cuts off of this now. That's cut. It's a bit rough, but it's cutting. We'll go back again. We'll drop it down a little bit. Well, there you go. Don't know how much of you saw of that, but we have a slot. And actually, it's just having the confidence to do it and to hold it steady. So we have a slot. What can I say? It cut. Probably taking a couple of passes, a little bit of a file. It's nice and straight. Nothing too bad. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that cutter, and then I'm going to try the burr and see if that will do any better. So as you can see, I've got the, I hope you can see that, I've got the burr in there, and I've got my holes drilled, and we're going to give it a go. Now with this, I'm going to have to go all the way through to completely, because there's no edge on the end of the burr to just go doing various passes. Have some oil and do that. See. Right. Okay, well that failed a little bit because the burr's started to drag itself out of the collet. Perhaps it needs may need a bit of a tighten up. Unplug that. Yeah, looks like it's not going to be the burr. I don't think I can keep it cool enough, so it's getting... I'll take it out and show you, but it's getting clogged up with the aluminium. It does cut okay, it's just getting clogged up where it's getting hot. Right, so see if I can focus in on that. So you can see the aluminium in there. It's obviously where it's not got a bit too hot and it's melted onto the burr, so then that stops the cutting edge. So we only got, even though it cut well up to this point, that's as far as it got and it wouldn't go any further. So it looks like it's going to be the router cutter. We're going to give it another go and see if we can make another slot up here. Well, I think that's going to be fine once it's because it's going to be a slightly wider cut than that, so it's going to take a bit more of the roughness out, and you're going to get a bit more of a bigger bed to flow properly with it. Once we've done the jig for the slot, the router jig, probably the making of that will be in another video once I've sorted that out. But I think I'll call that successful. Yeah, so if you want to cut aluminium with a router cutter, you can cut it, as long as you take a small cut and just keep plunging every couple of millimeters or so. But that's cool. Thanks for watching, guys. See you all in the next video. Bye for now.